Alright, welcome to a video on the metric system. When you finish these videos, you should be able to list the metric units of measure for various quantities, describe the meaning of the commonly used metric prefixes, and be able to convert from one metric unit to another. To get started, let's take a look at the metric system. The metric system is really the international system. That is, it's the system used outside of the United States. Now, when we want to measure, say, the mass or the weight of a person, we might use pounds. However, in the rest of the world, to measure the weight of something, they would use the unit of Newton. A Newton is the metric or international system for weight. On the other hand, suppose we were interested in the frequency of a Wi-Fi signal. So in both the United States and the rest of the world, frequency is measured in hertz of some sort. In terms of mass, we in the United States use some odd units that you probably haven't heard of and I won't mention, but in the international system, grams. And so these units here, mass, weight, these quantities, mass, weight, time, and frequency, are the quantities that we have been studying in class, and these are the base units in the metric system. These are the symbols. For example, a penny might have a mass of 25 grams. A person might have a weight of 700 newtons. A computer chip might run with a frequency of about 2 to 6 billion hertz. And of course, a typical person might live in the order of, or a typical person's day lasts 86,400 seconds. So those are some examples of these units. Now, interesting thing about the metric system is that it's a lot easier to take variations on these measurements than it is in the American system. Let me show you what I mean by that. Alright, so say we have a person and we would want to know how high they are. So a person, not typical, but a person might be 6 feet tall. Well, if you want to know how tall they are in inches, well then of course we got to know that there are 12 inches equal to 1 foot. And then of course if we wanted to know how tall they were in yards, then there's 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. And so the conversion between one unit of height or length and another unit of height in the American system is not particularly easy, or at least not as easy as it could be. Let's go over to the metric system and see why that becomes easier. So in the metric system, there are subunits, not feet, pounds, or feet, yards, and inches, but for example, for units of length, there are meters, and those can be a small unit of length, could be the centimeters, and a larger unit of length could be the millimeter. Now, one of the things you notice from this part of a ruler here is that there's 10 millimeters in a centimeter. And so it makes it very easy to convert between millimeters and centimeters. In fact, there are a number of commonly used prefixes for each type of measurement. And here's a list of them right here: kilo, centi, and milli. Let me describe what we mean by a prefix. If you have a person's mass might be something like 70,000 grams, but a more common way to state that would be 70 kilograms. Now we'll pick up the rest of this idea in the second part of the video.